look on Cena's face, it's all upset. It's like all these John Cena fans came out and they're now like converts to Bray Wyatt's,
Church. Well, the Church of Bray Wyatt.
The Church of Bray Wyatt.
Waiting for like John Cena to come out in like a suit, hung a Bible, and say, going, "Power of Christ compels you."
Yeah.
And now here's Tyler.
And speaking of that, John Cena apparently, I guess, could not answer the count of 10 at the end of this week's Monday Night Raw as everything that unfolded there at the end.
Apparently the Church of Bray Wyatt is strong in London.
Strong, yeah.
And probably the UK in general, but
yeah. I mean, obviously, no Daniel Bryan this week after successful neck surgery.
Yeah.
Obviously they had to focus more on the Wyatt family storyline and the Shield evolution a little bit as normal. And, they didn't have too much really for the WWE Championship or, World Heavyweight Championships. That's what we have to call it now, I guess.
Yep.
I guess, I feel like they didn't really, make an official... I mean, they said maybe about giving it to Kane. We thought, maybe there'd be something more definitive this week. But...
No, I mean... the funniest thing was that supposed to... when she was... shouting random names out, there was a loud CM Punk chant at the live event.
Yeah.
And it was so loud that it actually blocked her.
Yeah.
Obviously, I didn't hear any CM Punk chants on TV. And it's funny. So I guess when they were getting the taping ready, they should edit out the one name that they did not want to hear in a WWE arena anymore. Right. That is the guy who is not going to, probably ever be in a ring again. Right. Though he was at Wrigley Field saying, "Take me out to the ball game." For the, say excuse for baseball team and now it's Chicago Cubs.
Yeah.
But, no, I mean, so, yeah. I mean, obviously, they said about how Bryan's got to show up next week and he's got to be physically fit or, I guess the belt gets stripped. I mean, which the news is that it's 2 to 3 months out.
Yeah.
Which actually, to me, is that's, they're hyping that up as like, that's the minimum they're hoping for, just 2 to 3 months. Could be longer. It is neck surgery.
Yeah.
But, no, it sounds like, 2 or 3 months, I don't know. I mean, it's...
Unless he has, like, John Cena's recovery kind of skills, Like, 4 to 6 months and, and more like 4 to 6 weeks with his elbow last year. I don't know.
Well, they actually did say maybe 6 weeks like he could be back doing that. But, I don't know. I mean, it's funny that they haven't stripped him of the title yet, which just makes you always think they're even going to strip him at all.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they're playing it wait and see. I guess I don't know.
I don't know if it's because they don't have a storyline backup in yet planned yet. Like I said, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Payback's like coming up, like right around the corner.
Well, next week's the final week of television for the pay per view, and all we have right now is 3 matches, pretty much 4. I think Cesaro and Sheamus are going to pretty much guarantee to have a match.
Yeah, I mean, Payback is I guess we shouldn't be surprised that, there's only like 3 or 4 matches set so far. I mean, it's, one of those papers.
Well, probably 5 too. I mean, Alicia Fox did just beat Paige pretty badly.
Yeah,
too.
so I guess look
at it from that standpoint. We probably have 5 set up, and there's got to be a WWE World Heavyweight Championship match. What that kind of match is going to be, I don't know. I mean, obviously, one thing's talked about is maybe they'll keep the belt on Bryan, but they'll do like a massive tournament.
Yeah.
Kind of like a King of the Ring type deal, and it's going to be like in different pay-per-views. That's going to maybe lead up to the point where Bryan comes back.
Yeah,
I don't know what they're doing, but it's very weird how they haven't made a call yet or haven't really moved in a direction yet. I mean, it's because, like you said, you got Batista, Orton, Triple H feud with the Shield, and that's a backup plan. And you're not going to put the belt on Kane again, and Big Show's not going to get the belt. I mean. Yeah. See his funeral of Wyatt, there's really no point just throw him the belt back on him, though you could easily do that. I mean, like I said, it's just they don't really have a backup plan. It feels like they don't have this next guy in line that they can throw the belt on. I mean, obviously Stephanie probably tried to get a cheap British pop was brought up Bret Hughes Barrett's name, which I kind of chuckled at.
Yeah,
but. And even she said like, oh yeah, you gullible UK fans, that's right, Bret Hughes Barrett.
Yeah, I mean he was a baby face for all intents and purposes last
night. And to everybody's credit, they even played it off. Everybody's played off as that. I mean, and you kind of have to. I mean, I always find it ridiculous when they have people coming to their hometown. And they just say, "Oh no, you still gotta be a heel now."
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, but you do realize the fans are still gonna cheer him.
Right. Yeah.
Like I remember the one time they had Punk come out in Chicago as a member of the Straight Society, and he cut like a heel promo in the beginning, and he still got like a standing ovation because it was a great promo.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know why they even try.
Right.
In some locations.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, obviously the UK crowd was obviously one of the interesting crowds. So baby faces that get heel reactions and heels that may get baby face reactions, and yeah, I mean that was obvious with Wade Barrett getting a cheer. I got her taking I got some bad news, and yeah, but I mean at the end of the day, I mean yeah, I guess they're just playing it safe with Daniel. I guess they're waiting to see if there's any hope maybe Daniel Bryan come back, and I guess just playing it by day here, and as far as figuring out a WWE championship plan, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's a shame too because they're probably. I mean, obviously, I think they're glad that he's champion, and they probably have big plans for him to defend it against, maybe in a better storyline than Kane. Maybe like Randy Orton.
Well, it's not just Kane anymore, Tyler. It's the Demon Kane.
Well, yeah, the Demon Kane.
Once again,
not corporate Kane.
No, but once again, they got to mention Demon Kane now.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure they've had plans throughout the summer that are shot now.
This is like a new drinking game now. I mean, Demon Kane. Just every time they say the word Demon Kane, just take a shot.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, anyways, so yeah, I mean that's that. I mean, Stephanie McMahon is kind of the person in charge of that storyline, if in a way, I guess. As you have Triple H and the Evolution storyline, the Shield, and of course, last week in a house show, Roman Reigns and Randy Orton. I mean, I guess between the two of them, there was a botched spear that
it was in a steel cage match, supposedly.
Yeah, in a steel cage match where supposedly like Orton was countering Roman Reigns' spear into a power slam or something, and they just collided, and that gave Roman Reigns that epic cut above the eye, and of course they played that up on Monday Night this past week. And, yeah, he got major stitches and this and that, so that kind of added the show a little bit, I guess you could say. They cut the promo or whatever backstage, and is that Roman Reigns? Is that all you got? And so to the guys in the WWE locker room who are getting thrown at them, and But anyways, I mean, what did you think of the whole thing about the we're the guests, I'm the guest ring announcer, Triple H coming out, and then guest commentators.
I'm curious who had the authority to make Reigns and Ambrose guest commentators, because clearly it wasn't Triple H.
Yeah, it's like one of those loopholes. Yeah, I mean,
who is this mysterious authority figure that apparently can override the COO?
Yeah, I mean, it's like one of those. Yeah, I don't know. It was one of those like mysterious loopholes. Like how legitimate it really is that when somebody says, "All right, no official personnel," and then the Shield come out and they make themselves, or Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose are the guest commentators, and Triple H, the CEO of the company, is like, oh, really? Like you guys can do this, and it's one of those loopholes. But I mean, the idea was good, I guess. I mean, Dean Ambrose, I think, did a fine job when, I think that was the main idea. Roman Reigns not say too much and only add a little bit here and there. Whereas Dean Ambrose, I mean, and
JBL were really going back at it. I mean, man, if JBL was still able to wrestle, man, that would have been one hell of a feud back in the day.
Yeah, but I mean, that was, and then I mean, obviously, you knew at some point that was gonna break down into it. Yeah,
I mean, it was actually a pretty good match between Batista and Rollins. Yeah. I mean, it was definitely one of the best ones Batista's done since he's been back. So,
yeah, I mean, and then I mean, of course, meanwhile you have like fighting going on the outside, and at one point, Dean Ambrose runs across the announce tables again, and since they were in London, they had to, have another announce table like it was a pay-per-view, and then of course that gave Ambrose the opportunity to do that again, kind of like at Extreme Rules, and so I mean, it was good stuff, and at the end of the segment, I guess, or the match or whatever, the Shield are the guys standing tall, but they didn't quite get Batista in the triple power bomb. You
That
know.
that's probably having a payback because
Yeah,
it's gonna
exactly.
be
Yeah,
it's a no holds barred elimination match. So
yeah,
although I can easily see it where Ambrose and Rollins get taken out and Reigns is the lone man. He just starts taking out
yeah,
every member of Evolution. Like so, you know, like I said, this is Reigns. He's the golden child of,
yeah,
of this group, obviously still.
yeah. So
So
yeah,
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, you brought Reigns and Orton. I mean, I checked their live event page on WWE.com for the show coming in Reading.
Yeah.
And well, first of all, they took out Bryan and Kane. I mean,
Well,
those guys are no
yeah,
longer advertised. It's Roman Reigns, just Reigns. Ambrose and Rollins are advertised for the other show happening that same day, that other live event
yeah,
show. So I don't know if that I don't know if that's a story. I mean, just the fact that he's the only Shield member showing up, and the other Shield member is going to be at another live event show,
yeah,
or maybe they there's a turn plan somewhere in the future. Maybe.
yeah. Maybe they'll do like one of those like helicopter arrivals, like kind of like last year when they went to London, I think, and the Shield arrived. They were at like SmackDown earlier and then at Raw they arrived in a helicopter, and maybe they'll do something like that at this for this live event. I don't know,
But no, but it's Reigns, Orton's there, so I'm guessing we're gonna get an Orton and
yeah,
Orton. I mean, obviously, if Reigns is gonna, he's already pinned Batista already. He might even pin him again or
Yeah.
a payback. Since it looks like Dave's is still gonna be on his way out, Dave.
Yeah.
Especially since I just saw the Guardians of the Galaxy final trailer. Looks like an awesome movie. So I mean, clearly that advertising campaign's starting to really pick up.
yeah,
So obviously he's going to be definitely have to go away and advertise that movie. I mean, like I said, the whole deal is Reigns is going to have a one-on-one contest with Triple H at SummerSlam supposedly.
Yeah.
But you know, this is Triple H here. You know, okay, so you beat Big Dave, but you got to beat the golden child of
Yeah.
Evolution. You know, the
COO,
poster child. You know,
yeah.
no, but Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Do you think about the whole story of this group there? Randy Orton was the first guy that really rise to single stardom. Really,
Yeah.
you know, even though Batista probably became the bigger star of the group once it's all said and done, but Orton was the first one, so I could see it where they're just saying a whole Reigns Orton feud, and we'll probably get that 1-on-1. Obviously, Sheamus is advertised at her show along with Cesaro. I figure they're going to be having a 1-on-1 contest. The Usos still advertised. Don't know who they're going to be facing.
Yeah.
It's not going to be the Wyatts because they're at
Right.
the Cena live event. I think the only one is Rob Van Dam, which means you might get some bad news bearer, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe, I mean, who knows? But the fact that Rob Van Dam is doing a live event,
Yeah.
I think it's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Since he's a part-timer.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's about a month from now. You know, I mean, we'll
Well,
see.
that's the thing.
We'll see how it works out.
I mean,
yeah.
based on the fact that Brian's been taken off and maybe it's just done for safety reasons, instead of just keeping
Yeah.
him on there and all of a sudden you say the last thing, oh yeah, but he can't make it. He's
Right.
got a neck injury. But no, I mean, so that's what's changed with our live event, who's showing up and who's not showing up. I mean, obviously there's still some, that's not going to be everybody who's showing up, and obviously there could be names where they change the last second due to numerous of things and events that happen. But as of right now, we should be expecting Reigns, Orton, Rob Van Dam, Usos, Cesaro, and Sheamus.
Yeah.
Which actually is a pretty decent
pretty
lineup.
solid,
Pretty
yeah.
decent lineup, I think.
It's different from the one that came by in January. This is different. There was no members of the Shield there, So I mean, that's
or
pretty good.
Wyatt.
No Wyatts.
We're at the Punk Brian.
Yeah, Sheamus I don't think was there either. Well, Sheamus was injured, I think, still.
Well, yeah,
He didn't
it's
come,
like,
yeah, obviously. Then again, I mean, he's kind of down a peg right now as he's U.S. champion, but so I mean, yeah, it sounds pretty good. I mean, I don't know if Daniel Bryan. I mean, that's another guy that wasn't there, and he probably won't be there. Depending on this injury status too.
He wasn't there because the last show that showed up was the John Cena live event.
Yeah, it was the yeah.
I mean, and then the other live event that they did back in the day was Bryan and Punk. The reason why it was Bryan and they called it the Bryan Punk was because those two as individual. If it was just the CM Punk live event, it wasn't selling well. Or if just Bryan would.
Yeah.
So they decided that combine those two and
Yeah.
that might sell better live event tickets. The Cena ones were outselling the Bryan and Punk ones. It's the best way to say it. Despite what some hardcore fans might want to debate there, Cena is still the box office draw for this company here as far as tickets go. Which is why I joked about when I said, "Well, Bryan's doing it by himself now." I mean, Punk's gone. It's now the John Cena live event tour, and then there's the Daniel Bryan live event tour.
Yeah.
So I was curious if you said it was pretty much sold out when Cena showed up. There wasn't a whole lot of empty seats. I mean, it's not a large arena either, but
yeah,
But I mean, you know, I would be curious if that's the same if Brian would show up and just Brian, and,
Yeah.
you know. But now it's gonna be Reigns, which I'm basically more interested
seeing how
because
it does.
this is supposed
yeah.
to be the golden child, the golden goose, the next
Yeah.
golden goose possibly for this company here. And if this guy can't draw
Yeah,
by himself,
yeah,
you know, then this company's got to change some stuff around here then, or fans got to either just start waking up and saying maybe well I don't know do you really it's tough I think for a company to figure out how over somebody is.
yeah,
I guess is the best way I can word
Yeah.
it. So, I mean, obviously, one is live event ticket sales. How old are they?
yeah.
The second one's merchandise. And the one is do they get a reaction when they come out? And
Right.
I don't know. I mean, supposedly I hear the Shield merchandise in general is selling well.
Yeah. Yeah,
But then again, like I said, the Shield's not showing up at Reading, PA. It's just Roman Reigns is
Yeah.
showing up, and his partners, assuming they don't turn on each other up to June 21st, or at the Cena live event show right now advertised.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll definitely see. But yeah, I mean,
Assuming I still have a ticket by then.
yeah. Yeah. Hopefully,
If not, Matt owes me $20 back.
Yeah.
'Cause,
yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, anyways, I mean, yeah, I mean, so that's kind of where with the Shield and Evolution, I mean, should be a great match. I mean, at Payback, I mean, stepping up the game and making it, extreme.
as of right now,
rules,
it's the main
elimination,
event.
whatever.
It's the main event for the
Yeah,
interview.
because because again, I mean, it's WWE World Heavyweight Championship is up in the air right now, as far as its status goes, and yeah, I mean, it's it's kind of a a shame for WWE right now that they have to figure out what they're gonna do here and wait and see what Daniel Bryan's status is because yeah, I mean, like we said, I mean, there's not really any other direction they can really go right now, so yeah, I mean that's that, and then again you had the Shield and the Wyatt family and John Cena, and you also had the Beat the Clock challenge for the Intercontinental Championship.
It was Rob Van Dam won.
Yeah, Rob Van Dam
He was
won.
a few minutes shy of scoring a 420.
Yeah, yeah. How ironic would have that been? But yeah, I mean, anyways, yeah, I mean it's kind of fun. Not long ago they have like a lot of the same people in a tournament for the U.S. Championship, and now it's like, all right, now we're gonna have a Beat the Clock challenge with a lot of the same guys.
It's kind of nice that they are emphasizing that this is a title that people should be competing for. I think it makes the other undercard matches important now because we had 3 undercard performers out there that we don't usually see on a regular basis, and they're out there performing at least.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I thought Ziggler cut a nice promo when he it's like this is what I meant to do, show off and that, and he had he beat Mark Henry. I mean, he couldn't beat the time.
Yeah.
But he had Mark Henry beat.
Basically, yeah. Yeah, which I mean, I guess now hasn't been saying much because I mean, Mark Henry's shirt says bent on destruction, but it's been more like bent on getting destroyed or
destroyed.
I don't know how you want to put it. But so I mean that wasn't a surprise there, but yeah, I mean Big E being the first guy going over Ryback. That's not he is the former champion, and Ryback has in his 2 years has no championships so far, so I mean that's not a surprise there, and yeah, I mean Del Rio was in the mix too, and I don't know. I mean, a way to get
he's really fallen off of the graces. It feels like Del Rio.
Yeah, I mean, a little while ago, Rob Van Dam and him were feuding for the World Heavyweight Championship, and not even a year later, now it's Beat the Clock match for the Intercontinental Championship.
And it ends in 4 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, the whole point is to beat the clock.
Right. Yeah.
I think there were a lot of people. I think a lot of people were just shocked at how quick these two quote unquote former main eventers were just in it for 4 minutes, and that was it.
Yeah. So I mean that's I mean if Rob Van Dam had to, I mean I'm sure he could do a good main event like last year when he had a great one with Chris Jericho on Raw, but yeah, I mean he's a guy that they can move back. They just move back and forth through the mid card and everything. So I mean you had that, and yeah, I mean we mentioned earlier you had Paige losing a match. To I guess
Alicia Fox.
To Alicia Fox. Yeah, it was. I guess would be the opponent. Of course, last week on Raw, took JBL's cowboy hat and Ward walked out of the ring.
This
Spread,
time,
soda
this
around
time,
on people. And,
yeah. This time she stole Jerry's crown and started splashing soda on people.
Yeah.
So apparently that's her gimmick now. She loses her mind when she loses or wins a match.
Yeah.
It's better than Natalia's new gimmick where she loses and she just cries in the ring for some reason.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, I don't know. It's kind of.
I'm not gonna lie. The two demon matches that happened, though, I was slightly entertained with at least what was happening.
Yeah. I mean,
because the other one that showed up was Summer Rae, who returned from I guess. Oh yeah, no. She came back after I guess she got done finishing filming the Marine 4, which she's gonna be in.
Yeah.
With the Miz. The Miz is going to be playing the Marine again.
So already on the 4th, yeah.
Which is supposedly why he's not there. I mean, I assume he's
Yeah.
still filming the movie. I mean, he is going to be the star of the movie. And I don't know what Summer Rae's role is. All I know is on the internet there was a footage of her holding a sniper rifle, wearing I assume it's female military gear. So I guess she's the like I said, I don't know if she's going to be playing the role of the Miz's girlfriend or I don't know what the storyline for the Marine 4 is going to be.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched the Marine 3. It's better than the Ted DiBiase Marine 1, the Marine 2.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd say The Miz was the second best guy to play the Marine. I mean, it's not gonna be the first because the first one was wasn't a straight to DVD movie. The first John Cena one.
Yeah.
And I think John Cena can fit a military persona as far as acting goes better than the Miz can.
Yeah.
I don't see a former reality star as a ex-military guy.
Yeah.
But I can kind of see a guy who's kind of jacked as hell, maybe playing a military person.
Yeah.
Like I said, that's just me. It's like honestly the best WWE film they ever made was See No Evil, and obviously there's gonna be a sequel to that straight to DVD.
Yeah, with the Demon Kane. Of course.
Just the Demon Kane.
Yeah.
The Demon Kane's back.
Yeah.
I don't know. The only movie that I'm still doing WWE film wise is the making a reboot of the Leprechaun movie series back in the day with Hornswoggle playing the evil Dominic Leprechaun this time.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, Hornswoggle has always been a comedy character. Great. Now he was a member of 3MB, who now for the Union Jacks, at least for London. So of course he wasn't there, but I don't know. It'd be interesting because those Leprechaun movies are pretty much known as being so good. I mean, so bad that they're good.
Yeah.
As far as acting goes and that, I mean, but like I said, I mean, the best one to me is See No Evil. Still, is probably the best WWE Studios film they ever made.
Yeah.
But I don't know. To me, WWE Studios is just another attempt by WWE to try to. Well, I guess it's the entertainment part that they keep trying to promote. Essentially, it's essentially what they keep trying to promote themselves as is this entertainment company.
Yeah.
But it's okay, but you're still a wrestling company.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But this is the same company that gave us the XFL for one full season too. I mean, so now they're a football company.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, but Summer Rae was back, and I thought when she came back, she actually showed a lot more emotion than John Cena ever did when he got pissed off at something.
Yeah.
She comes storming out there. She kisses, Fandango, which apparently JBL was okay with after, bitching about Layla and Fandango showing a lot of tongue last week.
Yeah.
But Fandango kind of like smiling smirk, like, yeah, that's right, got two girls flying over me.
Yeah.
And then she just tackles the hell out of Layla and beats which got the London crowd popping.
Yeah.
But I'm like, yeah, that's more emotion than John Cena's ever shown when he's gotten pissed off at somebody.
Yeah.
Usually for Cena, it's he puts him in a headlock.
Yeah. Well, I mean, beforehand, before the match, Cena, I guess, backstage getting interviewed, brings in the Usos, and they I don't know what they have their own little jam, I guess, to get ready for battle, I guess. I don't know.
Comedy again. Yo, comedy. Yeah, comedy. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that was with
It's clearly John Cena trying to be funny.
Trying to with the Usos, and I don't know, but it just didn't work, and
I don't know.
I don't know.
Like I said, it's you try to not turn to like a Cena hater and all that there, but it's like he makes it too damn easy sometimes.
Yeah, I mean,
it's one of the stupidest ones was when he poked fun at the Wyatts by putting him on like baby pitch baby.
Yeah, about a month ago. Yeah, or something.
I'm like, okay, this guy's supposed to be like destroying your values and and what you believe in, and that. You're not pissed off. You're telling freaking jokes and that. And later on in that show, you got Brian coming out in a neck brace.
Yeah.
And Steph's like kind of making fun and like lighthearted and kind of like a half-ass apology. I'd see Brian telling a freaking joke out there. He looked pretty pissed off and serious, despite having a neck brace on.
Yeah.
Like he wanted to kick somebody's ass essentially. So who does Brian think he is there? Clearly, what John's trying to tell people is no. You don't act serious and pissed off. You tell jokes when you're Come on, get on board. I'm the company guy. I know better.
I guess we'll see how John Cena comes out. Yeah, I guess we'll see how John Cena comes out next week after that beatdown.
Yes.
Up on the ramp.
He'll probably tell a freaking joke again next week.
It's like, oh, good. Ray Harper can count to 10 or whatever.
Luke Harper.
Or Luke Harper. Yeah,
Luke Harper.
Yeah, or something like that. Like I don't know, something like. But obviously, there's a nice way to close the Raw, and then the Usos running into Sister Abigail's, and so yeah, it was last week. I guess you could expect that after last week, when Cena and the Usos beat the Wyatt family, and you expected them to strike back, and so that's close the show, and as a UK audience was pretty interesting as always, and one of the highlights.
I'll just say the European crowd's better than the American crowd.
Yeah, well, yeah, in general.
Best example. Let's go to the Adam Rose segment because the first time people actually gave a shit about the character coming out.
Yeah,
they're humming his lyrics.
Yeah,
they're clearly they get who Adam Rose is.
Yeah,
apparently Americans are still scratching their heads, going, "Who is this guy? He looks kind of fruity." No, what? He's supposed to be a rock guy? Looks a lot like Russell. Sounds a lot like Russell Brand. Is that his character?
Yeah.
London gets it.
I think. Yeah. They probably are more in tune with his NXT days and stuff. That's if I had to guess, that's probably what it is.
No, my guess is London says, okay, he's a rocker.
Or
he sounds like Russell Brand, who is a fellow British,
right.
Brit.
Exactly. Yeah. Or they just have more common sense.
Leo Kruger is not British. He's from South Africa,
right.
Which was a British colony back in the day.
Yeah.
So, which might explain his British accent to begin with, but because I do believe that is his actual accent.
Yeah.
I think it's. Now, does that mean he sounds like Russell Brand on a regular basis? I don't know. That's just what they told him to do because that's pretty much what he's playing is Russell Brand.
Yeah.
Like I said, and maybe American crowd don't know who Russell Brand is.
Yeah.
Because he's British and that. But I don't know. I've seen. Oh God! I got movies Russell Brand was in. Jason Segel, Kristen Bell. The name of the movie slipped my mind. Russell Brand's in the movie, and he's playing. He's playing the character that Adam Rose is playing. Shit, I forgot the movie. Because I'm in the combat section. If you can think of the movie I'm thinking of, I can't believe forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Yeah.
Okay. Starring I think it's Jason Segel and Kristen Bell. But Russell Brand's in that movie, and he plays like this rocker essentially. Yeah. That's supposedly who Adam Rose is supposed to be. But it's let's check. That's a popular comedy that a lot of people have seen in the States, and they can't. Grant, I don't know how many of those people are wrestling fans in that, but they can't figure out that Adam Rose is this character, who's banging Kristen Bell in the movie too. But I don't know. It's just I enjoy UK crowds way better than American crowds. I'm starting to really come to that conclusion. It feels like it's 50-50 with American crowds. They got to either be in a wrestling
hit or
city,
miss. Yeah.
I mean, they're butt fucking Arkansas or something like that. A lot of them pretty much just sit down. You can probably drop a pin.
Yeah.
Nothing. You won't hear anything in this crowd. Except maybe when Cena comes out, because you got a lot of kids in the audience.
Yeah.
And maybe that's a problem too. Maybe because you got a lot more young adults and teenagers in the UK that are wrestling fans than kids.
Right. Yeah.
A little more vocal.
Yeah.
I don't think a kid's gonna start a "You suck" chant. In the middle, because I'm pretty sure mommy and daddy are gonna be there and say, "No, don't swear, Tommy. Don't swear.
Yeah.
Swearing's bad."
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I don't know, but I mean, I guess we got next week, and I don't know. Maybe we'll have a better idea of as far as the WWE World Heavyweight Championship goes, what they're gonna do there, and I don't know. But I mean, Payback. I mean, basically, you got the Shield
Mhm.
and the Evolution match, which should be great, and
Got Bad News Barrett.
Bad News Barrett.
You got
Yeah,
Sheamus against Cesaro.
right, and
Paul Heyman dominating again on the
yeah,
mic.
and then of course, yeah, you had yeah, Paul Heyman was good, and then you had Cesaro with the fake handshake.
Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty. Just kind of like right in front of Sheamus, and yeah, I mean that was good.
I don't. Sheamus. I mean, what's Sheamus getting upset about there? How do we know that was going to be an actual handshake? He could
Right,
easily
yeah.
have bro kicked him.
Yeah, I mean you never know.
This is a guy who bullied Mark Henry during a feud, for crying out loud.
Yeah. So I don't know, but yeah, I mean that was yeah. I mean that was
Hey,
good.
the audience told Cesaro, don't trust him, don't trust him.
Yeah.
So Sheamus is going to get upset at the crowd,
Yeah.
who apparently, granted, I think it's because Sheamus is Irish,
Irish. Yeah.
but fans clearly in the UK just crapping all over Sheamus.
Yeah.
But they like the Swiss hammer.
Yeah.
So I guess UK likes Switzerland more than Ireland. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, anyways, I mean that I guess that kind of brings us next week. I guess we'll look forward to see what goes on there, and now we'll go back to our pay-per-view review. Yeah, which we didn't have last week, but
we didn't have last week. I kind of slipped my mind, due to graduation and everything and that.
But this week, yeah.
Yep.
This week we have another review to.
So Tyler, when we last left this very long review of the history of WCW pay-per-views, it was Starrcade 1985. It took place in 2 separate venues. A year before the WWF did it with WrestleMania 3. I mean, sorry, 2.
Yeah.
Where they did it, except they did it in 3 separate venues. But in '86, Stargate 86 called the nickname tagline the Skywalkers, which you learn why it was called that. But they figured, let's do it a second straight year. So once again, same stuff. We're in the Omni in Atlanta, and we're in the Greensboro Coliseum in Greensboro, North Carolina. This time I think they had 2 separate commentator teams too. I'm looking forward to '87 because it's going to be Shivani and a very young Jim Ross commentating. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
But that's probably going to be next week's one. But we opened it up with Tim Horner and Nelson Royal versus Don and Rocky Conato. I mean, it was a pretty good opening contest. We're starting to see, because I do remember watching the WCW DVD, I guess the death of WCW DVD essentially. Yeah. And I remember them talking about the early '80s of the company, and Ric Flair did say there was a point where they were moving from like characters to just getting a lot of wrestlers in here, like technical wrestlers, because they want to be completely different from the WWF, which was all going to be character oriented essentially. You still had characters here, but they wanted to go with a lot of wrestlers, technical wrestlers essentially. So I mean, it was actually pretty good. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars because it was a pretty solid opening contest. And then for roll up, well, I think it was Nelson Royal rolled up. I think it was Rocky Conato. Kind of like and technically the Royal, like Horner and Royal were like the heels, but it was a clean roll up too. They didn't cheat or anything. Like it was a clean, but they got booed. So I guess at least back in the day, wrestling fans knew who the heel and the faces were. Then we switched over to because once again they switched from the Omni and the Greensboro Coliseum back and forth, and at the Omni they had a giant scaffold set up for the Skywalker match, because essentially what the Skywalker match is, Tyler, is that it's a giant scaffold on both ends, so essentially both teams will line up on both ends of 2 separate ends of the scaffold. They tiptoe across this board, this kind of wide metal board. Granted, it's still kind of thin off there where you gotta kind of tiptoe over.
Yeah.
And your job is to throw both teams off the scaffold. And it's 25 feet off the ground nonetheless, too. So you got the goal is to double your opponent 25 feet to the mat. So, but we'll get to that match later on tonight. But they had this thing set up outside, that's outside the ring, but almost kind of above the ring, which kind of always distracted you when it was a match happening inside the ring, because it's like, what's this for? Well, you know what it was for, but it's like, okay, but does it have to be set up? Well, I guess due to the time constraints and that, it has to be set up. But,
ahead of time. Yeah.
But no. Anyway, we get to it's Brad Armstrong versus Jimmy Garvin with Precious, a female manager. I gave it a 2.5. I mean, it was actually a. It went to a draw. It was a 15-minute time limit. You always know when they always say sometimes matches. They don't really say it now in WWE anymore because screw time limits to this point.
Right.
Back in the day, they said like this is a one-fall contest, 15-minute time limit, which meant that once the 15 minutes was up, the match ended in a draw.
Yeah.
And once in a while you have Tony Schiavone saying on the microphone, "Well, we got 5 minutes left till we get to that 15 minutes." Like as if these wrestlers are keeping track of time in that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So it was actually a pretty good one. 2.5. The half was because Jimmy Garvin was actually a pretty good heel. He would yell back at the crowd when he had like Brad Armstrong in like a headlock or something. Like he would literally just yell back and like say like I forget what he said there, but it's just like boo me, go ahead, boo me and stuff like that. And you had like his manager like in the outside Precious just saying the same stuff. Like when you feel Brad Armstrong on the outside, it's like she'd be like, "Come on, Brad, you can make it in the ring. Like come on, like being a dick is heel."
Yeah.
Then we go back to the Coliseum. We got Hector Guerrero, the brother of Eddie Guerrero, I might add you. Not quite as talented as Eddie as far as personality goes, but he clearly has that I don't want to say lucha libre style there because it was like Eddie was because Eddie as far as I knew, Eddie Guerrero was not a lucha wrestler unlike Rey Mysterio and such, but they did have that kind of fast style to wrestling, and he was easily the fastest guy in here, but it was him and Baron von Washki. It gets
Who is this?
It gets Shashka Watley and the Barbarian. I gave it a 2 because really, besides Hector Guerrero getting in this match, everybody else just was not that talented.
Yeah.
As soon as Hector would tag out, it just felt like the match, like as far as agility, speed, athletic ability, just like went out the window. But anyway, Baron gets the pinfall with an elbow. Like just about like the guys on the ground, just, elbow, like, 3 count. Pretty, it's almost like Dusty Rhodes, I guess, finisher at one point. Then we go back to the Omni, where we got the Russians, Crusher Khrushchev and Ivan Koloff against the Kansas Jayhawks, Bobby Jaggers, and a very young Dutch Mantel, better known as Zeb Coulter. Yep. So this was a no DQ match for the NWA United States Tag Team Championship. This is like the 3 of like this is like I think there's like 3 different was it 3? Yeah, 3 different tag team matches, 2 for 2 different tag team belts at 2 different venues nonetheless. So a lot of confusing championships here, but it was actually a pretty good no DQ match. It was an interesting spot where the Russians had that chain out, and Dutch Mantel actually grabbed I believe it was a bullwhip, and he actually was whipping it around. And at one point, I think he froze it, and he actually trips up one of the Russians. Like literally, aims it at his foot and pushes it up, and actually trips it.
Yeah.
But the match ends when I think it was Bobby Jaggers was like going for like a he Irish whips. I think it's Ivan Koloff, but Crusher Khrushchev is there with a chain and just punches him as hard as he can in the face.
Yeah.
And he falls over, and the Russians get the 3 count and retain their NWA United States Tag Team Championships. We then go back to the Coliseum, where we have Wahoo McDaniel gets a very young, ravishing Rick Rude with Paul Jones in his corner, and it is in a Indian strap match, which they said Wahoo McDaniel was undefeated in because he's Native American and Indian strap match, so
Yeah.
But I mean, it was actually a very good match. I mean, at this point, Wahoo McDaniel, who we've seen in every Stargate up to this point, this is Rick Rude's first one, and he's very young in his career too. But you could already tell Rick Rude is in a different level than Wahoo McDaniel is. But anyway, the goal of the match is similar to the Texas Bullwhooping matches in WWE. Got to touch each. You got to incapacitate your opponent, and then touch all 4 corners of the turnbuckle in succession, like in one go. If you get screwed up, you got to start over. Of course, there's like no lights or anything. It's just okay. We gotta just keep counting this guy counting the turnbuckles and that. But what happens is pretty much Wahoo knocks out Rick Rude and he just runs around the corner and touches all 4 corners. I don't know. It was actually a very good match. I think I gave it 2.5 stars, which for this pay per view has been still pretty good.
Standard, yeah.
Pretty good standard.
Kind of the standard.
I mean, like I said, the matches are way better than when I saw in like '83 and all that stuff. Because clearly, like I said, the talent pool for WCW is clearly starting to grow.
Yeah.
Granted, some of these guys are gonna joke ship to WWE in a few years from now, but still very, very impressive talent pool for the company. At this point, we actually got I think it was Johnny Weaver. Was the reporter backstage, and he's staying outside Dusty Rhodes' locker room. And he's been saying how Dusty's just been in his locker room all day. He won't talk to anybody. He won't talk to any of the media, no wrestlers. He doesn't want to talk to anybody. He's pissed off as hell. He's waiting for his first blood match with Tully Blanchard tonight for his television championship. He's angry as hell. He wants to beat the hell out of Tully Blanchard. Essentially. But Johnny Weaver, the wise person he is, says, I want to interview Dusty though. So he knocks on Dusty. He goes like, yeah, hey Dusty, you there? You there? And he starts opening the locker room door slowly, and then all of a sudden he's like, Dusty, can we have a word? I know you're pissed off right now, but or you don't want to talk about it. And then you hear Dusty Rhodes like in the background yelling like, get out of here! I don't want to talk to anybody. Get out! Yeah, essentially, he pretty starts to get out, and Johnny Weaver does get out because he's not a wrestler. He's a announcer. He's not getting his ass kicked by Dusty Rhodes. So I don't know. I thought that was a kind of an entertaining backstage interview. Then we have Sam Houston against Bill Dundee from Australia. If the Dundee name doesn't screw it up for you, essentially. I'm pretty sure this guy got the name straight from the Crocodile Dundee movies. I'm very confident in that. But anyway, it's for Sam Houston's NWA Central State Heavyweight Championship. They keep talking about how Sam Houston is like from the Midwest. So, he's like a proud holder of the Central State Championship, and how nobody out in the Midwest wants to see an Australian, an Aussie, hold something called the Central State United States Championship. But anyway, what happens is a DQ finish. Bill Dundee, I think at one point grabs, I think it's Sam Houston's boot, and actually knocks the ref over, and he assumes the ref's not going to see it, but he just swings the hell out of just punches Sam Houston with his own boot. Mm-hmm. Ref sees it though, because apparently refs are so much more smarter back in the day than they are now. That DQ, and Sam Houston retains his belt via disqualification. So 2.5, that's good. It wasn't a bad match, but I knew we were in store for some better maybe showings later tonight. Then we got Jimmy Valiant with Big Mama against Paul Jones in a hair versus hair match. Stipulation is that if Jimmy Valiant loses, Big Mama, who is a female, would have her hair shaved. If Jimmy Valiant pins Paul Jones, he gets his hair shaved. Manny Fernandez, the Raging Bull, who has been like a babyface the last 3 Stargates, is now a heel now. He's supposed to be in Paul Jones' corner, but apparently there was a pre-contract stipulation that said that Manny Fernandez has to be in a cage high above the ring. So he can't interfere in this match and can't help Paul Jones out. But he's refusing, and you got a very young Earl Hebner trying to tell him to get in the cage, and finally got to have half of the locker room come out and force Manny Fernandez into this cage, which is kind of funny, Yeah. But anyway, he hands him in the cage. It was actually a pretty interesting match. Paul Jones was using a foreign object on Jimmy Valiant, and Jimmy Valiant was getting busted open. There was blood everywhere. But, at one point, Jimmy Valiant gets the same object, and he just hits it with Paul Jones, gets the 3 count. 2.5, and then you have Paul Jones getting his hair shaved by Jimmy Valiant. Now, while this is happening, though, you got Manny Fernandez getting lowered back down from the cage. And when he gets out of the cage, he starts attacking Jimmy Valiant. And but then all of a sudden, Rick Rude comes out because Jimmy Valiant's making a comeback now. And then they throw a steel chair in, and they actually do a very nasty double DDT on Jimmy Valiant's head. And it felt like they were playing an injury storyline here. He was Jimmy Valiant slowly getting up and walking out. And anyway, at this stage in the event, we hit our first intermission. It's probably 15-20 minutes long. It felt like half an hour though. Essentially, what they did in this intermission, they were promoting other NWA events that already happened. Or that was going to happen. They said, Bunkhouse Stampede, the second year of Bunkhouse Stampede's coming up, and here to explain it is this, wrestler who is in a cowboy outfit explaining, they've explained about this massive NWA tag team tournament for this trophy, which the Road Warriors won. The first annual one. They said, hey, second annual one's coming up. Can the Road Warriors, win the trophy again and such? So, like I said, it was nothing more than just advertising, I guess, for more products. Saying, hey, you like this stuff? Buy some more shit.
Yeah.
Essentially. Then we go back to the Omni, where we got Big Bubba Rogers, a.k.a. better known as the Big Boss Man from WWE. It gets Ron Garvin in a street fight. It was actually a very solid street fight. There is a spot in the match where Jim Cornette throws something in Big Bubba Rogers' hand. We don't know what it is. It turns out it's a handful of quarters, and he's the heart of it, like he has the quarters like in his hand, and I guess when you hit somebody with a handful of quarters, it leaves like a blood mark or something. That's why Garvin gets busted over at this. Anyway, the quarters fall on the ground. And Drew Cornette is whispering into the commentating booth, like Tony Schiavone, like going like, "Oh man, it's raining nickels and dimes in the ring today." People like, I don't know. It was funny when Cornette said it. Like but that's how he was as a man. Jim Cornette to me was almost like a Bobby Heenan and a Paul Heyman guy. He was a guy who you loved to hate.
Yeah.
He was loud, obnoxious. He would tell jokes which were funny, but were clearly meant to make fun of the baby faces.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was actually a very good match. There was a cool spot too where Ronnie Garvin actually hit a pile driver on Big Bubba Rogers. I mean, like an actual legit pile driver, which just shocked.
Where the head actually.
Yeah, yes, hit the mat and everything.
No.
No. It's just the fact that Ron Garvin, we're talking big boss man here, has maybe a nice 100-pound advantage over Ron Garvin here. And Ron Garvin's able to get him up for a pile driver. That's kind of very impressive. So, I mean, it was actually a very nice street fight. I gave it 3.5 because first you have Jim Cornette on the outside.
Yeah.
Very entertaining.
Very entertaining.
Unfortunately for him, his night was not over after this match. I think he kind of wished it was, and this would not be the thing that Big Bubba Rogers unfortunately would be known for in his for this night either. But anyway, we finally get to the Tully Blanchard versus Tully Blanchard with J.J. Dillon, member of the Four Horsemen, against Dusty Rhodes in a first blood match for the NWA World Television Championship. Well, we know Dusty's been hanging out in his locker room all day, so when Tully's out in the ring with J.J. Dillon, you have Dusty finally his theme music plays, but he's still in his locker room, and kind of almost Goldberg-esque fashion, he's walking out. He just kicks the door open, and he just starts walking out. Like I said, kind of to the ring, almost like Goldberg-ish in a way, while his theme music's playing, and he just walks out to the ring. He kind of the commentators keep acknowledging that Dusty cut his hair, it's shorter now, and when he wrote on both sides of his hair, there's no hair anymore, is the name Tully. Tully Blanchard. So he wrote the name of his opponent on as if I don't know. I guess he really did that piss up with Tully Blanchard. It's a first blood match, so obviously first one to bleed loses the belt. J.J. Dillon, the best heel manager that he is, before the match starts, puts a wrestling headgear on, amateur wrestling headgear on him. And Dusty's saying, "Oh, come on, no!" Telling the ref no. This. And I think JJ's started saying, no. He's a medical condition. He needs to have this headgear on. Yeah. Even though it's just designed, it can be used as a weapon, and it can also help him not get bleeding bleeding. Anyway, in the match, what happens is that Dusty does make Tully bleed. It's not a massive cut, but it is blood. But the ref is knocked out. But anyway, J.J. Dillon, once again, the genius heel manager that he is, has Tully run over to his corner. And he starts rubbing Vaseline on the wound, and it starts like a towel or something. Then he gives him a handful of quarters again. So it's good. A handful of quarters can be used as a weapon successfully. I don't know. I'm not going to try it with my brother or anything. Obviously, because that's just stupid as hell to do. But anyway, he Dusty finally turns he's trying. This time he's still trying to get the ref open. See, look, the guy's bleeding. The match should be over by now. But anyway, Dusty walks out. As soon as he does, Tully just smacks the hell out of him with this handful of quarters, and Dusty starts bleeding like there's no tomorrow, like there's blood everywhere on his face, and he's also He's knocked out too. But anyway, Dusty then kind of slowly walking up, like kind of like starting to sit up, and as he is, he's looking right at the ref. Literally, the ref is starting to get conscious, and the first thing he sees is Dusty's bloody face.
Yeah.
And Dusty's kind of even grabbing him to like he's like that dazed or something. But anyway, so the ref finally sees this. And he just gets up and he rings the bell, and Dusty Rhodes just starts losing it, like you're kidding me, like how can you see me and not see his face is bleeding? But anyway, Tully Blanchard gets the belt. Crowd is booing the hell out of it. There, Dusty starts beating up the referee too. So first Dusty wants to beat up Joe Frazier, and now wants to beat up another random official. But I give it like a 2.5. Main reason was because of Dusty's outburst.
Yeah.
And also, once again, these handful of quarters apparently is a very effective weapon to make people bleed in wrestling.
Yeah.
Once again, I don't know if that actually does. It's stupid to even try that.
Right. Yeah.
Like I could believe a steel chair, a chain,
Yeah.
handful of quarters in your hand. I don't know. Like I mean, like even if you do it this way, I don't know that's gonna create a force. You might poke somebody's eye, maybe at the most. But anyway, as we're moving on from wrestling is anyway, we finally get to the Skywalker match, aka the scaffold match. And like I said, the whole deal is that it's got two tag teams on the scaffold. They walk over, and the goal is to knock both of them out. I just want both have to go 25 feet to the floor. You got the Road Warriors with Paul Ellering. And the Midnight Express with Jim Cornette, with Big Bubba Rogers also in his corner. So, like I said, I saw the ending to this match on Botchamania. And this match is just because this is where Jim Cornette takes a nasty scaffolding spot. And the match is over. And the goal... And it's actually kind of funny. And it's funny because the whole point of the spot is simple, Tyler. The Midnight Express both get doped off the scaffold. And it's actually very good. It's actually very nice how they do it. I mean, like the crowd, literally is gasping because they can't believe that somebody's gonna get thrown 20 feet off the scaffold, which is probably why you don't see these matches done anymore for a number of reasons. But which is why I give it 4 stars because I was literally looking at it like, oh god, I can't believe they're actually gonna find somebody get thrown off this thing. Like, first of all, when the Road Warriors even walk up, their side of the scaffold is starting to break. Like as soon as they enter their side. Like there's a part breaking, just snapped off. Yeah. But Road Warrior Animal, I guess apparently could fix stage sets so easily. Actually sees this and actually before the Midnight Express gets up, starts tying it back together. But even during the match, it falls off again. Yeah. So, I mean, it's the only part that I saw falling off, but it's just you got to be nervous if you see a part of the scaffolding starting to fall off, and you're up 20 feet on the ground. But anyway, the Midnight Express lose. They both get dumped to the floor. So they're knocked out, But they get doped in the safest way possible, they just Cornette gets chased up by Paul Ellering, the manager of the Road Warriors, essentially. And he gets chased up and he thinks the scaffold is gonna be safe because nobody's gonna be there. Then he sees Road Warrior animals on top. So but Heel Manager he's like, oh crap, I'm in a bad spot here. So the goal was simple. He's gonna crawl on the bottom of the scaffold, gonna hang like almost like a monkey bar essentially. Like he's gonna hang, and the spot is simple. Big Bubba Rogers, Big Bossman's gonna be underneath him, and he's gonna catch him. Protect him because Jim Cornette's not a wrestler. He's a manager. He's not an athletic guy either, so he's not gonna be able Well, I don't know what happened there, but Big Bubba Rogers, you can even tell, is nowhere near where Jim Cornette is hanging, here. And supposedly, according to Jim Cornette, he actually lost, he couldn't hang on anymore. He was, and he didn't want to yell during the pay-per-view saying, Bubba, you're in the wrong spot! You're not going to catch me. Because as soon as he drops, Bubba doesn't even touch him. He literally just falls right in front of where Bubba is standing. And after this happens, Jim Cornette actually has a severe knee injury. Yeah. And he sells it. I mean, he's yelling in tremendous amount of pain. I don't blame him because he lands flat on his knee.
Oh my god!
As soon as Tyler, if you see the spot, which you can probably still see on the Botchamania video where I first noticed it, he just falls flat. He just falls straight down. Yeah. We're talking like 25 feet off the ground too. And the guy's not a wrestler. He's a manager. And he's not an athletic person to begin with.
Yeah.
But you watch his spot, and it's just like what? Like who? It's a simple spot. Big Bob Rogers is gonna catch him. He's gonna fall right on top of Big Bubba. Who's gonna catch him? And all you see is Bubba's like hands like this far wide out, as if like this is gonna catch like Jim. But anyway, the Road Warriors start celebrating on top of the scaffold. It was a very entertaining match in it, but I just remember this. I just remember watching this ridiculous spot.
Yeah.
Like very botched up spot, and Jim Cornette, like I remember just talking about it, and he just said like how when he got backstage, it's just like Bubba, where were you, Bubba? Where were you?
Yeah.
Like those. But I mean, it's a crazy match. There's a reason why they don't do scaffolding matches anymore. I think the Jim Cornette injury was the one reason, because go try to get a manager on top. In fact, I actually remember one time watching Legends of Wrestling Roundtable in WWE, and Jerry King Lawler apparently they were supposed to do a match. And Paul Heyman was the manager of a certain tag team. And the idea was that they were going to do a similar spot like Jim Cornette. Paul was going to get chased up of the scaffold, and he was going to take a spot, and he was going to fall off the scaffold. Well, up to the pay-per-view, Paul finally says, I'm not doing that. Yeah. And Jerry's like, what do you mean you're not doing it? I'm not doing it. I'm afraid of heights. Which, of course, I think then Jerry punches, I believe, Paul Heyman in the jaw and breaks his jaw nonetheless, too. Why you have the Jerry Lawler, Paul Heyman actual heat there, kind of. I'm pretty sure they got over it by now, but I just remember that one Legends Roundtable one, and just Jerry bring up the story about how Paul Heyman like screwed up the storyline they've been building up down in Memphis and that, and and I just remember Jim Ross saying, "Well, scaffolding matches are dangerous, Jerry. Remember what happened to Jim Cornette when he did one?" Yeah. But anyway, we get to the main event in Greensboro Coliseum. Steel cage. It's Ole and Arn Anderson, the other members of the Four Horsemen, even though they're still hired them as the Minnesota Wrecking Crew in this one. Against the Rock and Roll Express for the NWA World Tag Team Championship. I don't know. I give it 4 stars. Essentially, you had the Andersons kicking the hell out of the Rock and Roll Express for a while. I mean, the Rock and Roll Express would get a few offense in, but it was essentially them getting just shoved head first against the steel cage and there's blood everywhere. And this match was also great because I finally got to see an Arn Anderson spine buster finally. Yeah. And it was actually a nice one. What he did was he threw, I believe it was Bobby Eaton as hard as he could against the steel cage. But he just, as soon as he bounces the steel cage, he just falls right into an Arn Anderson spine buster. And when they say nobody does a spine buster better than Arn Anderson, they're not lying. Best spine buster you're ever going to see. In fact, I believe that's why it's called the AAA. Double A spine buster. Yeah. Arn Anderson, because Arn Anderson pretty much made the move so lethal. So anyway, Rock and Roll Express win to retain the belts. Bloodbath. It was actually a very good match. So at this point, we get ready for the main event. It's Ric Flair versus Nikita Koloff, the good Russian now, who loves America. Now, Tyler, I did tell you that about Magnum TA, Stargate 85. He was like this built up as being the next big star in NWA wrestling, essentially. Possibly going to be the Hulk Hogan of the South in a way. Mm-hmm. Very over the crowd. Well, he was supposed to main event Stargate 86 with Ric Flair, and he was even going to win the belt, and essentially, start like a massive babyface run. Unfortunately for Magnum TA, his wrestling career ended. He was temporarily paralyzed due to a car accident leading up to this event. So his career is over now. So NWA is in a spot now. They got to find a replacement. So their goal is they're going to take Nikita Koloff. They've been building a giant heel, bad Russian essentially. They're going to line him with Dusty Rhodes. The American Dream. And Dusty's going to convince him that the American Dream is way better than the Soviet Dream, I guess. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Actually, I forgot this interview. This was actually a very good interview. But earlier in the night, someone was interviewing the Russians after their tag team victory. And they had Crusher Khrushchev and Ivan Koloff are both saying, like, look, Nikita, you stabbed us in the back. You got brainwashed by Dusty Rhodes and that, and these idiot American fans say, but you know what? We hope you beat Ric Flair. We hope you win the title tonight, because then you're gonna defend it against one of us. Then and we're gonna beat you because we're gonna show you that Russians. In the end, you don't stab us in the back and that. So, I mean, it was actually a nice storyline twister because it actually made you actually buy. Oh man, yeah, Nikita could actually win. They could actually have like this massive Russian feud then.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Nikita Koloff ends up turning babyface, and he essentially gets put in this spot here against Ric Flair. After Ric Flair does his entrance, they cut to this montage. At first, I didn't understand. At first, I thought it was like a Nikita Koloff montage, about him like saying like, "Oh, I love America now," like I love America now. It was actually a Magnum TA montage because I guess at this point they realized his career was over. So it was like a nice tribute to Magnum TA. I believe his wife was in the video too, and it was essentially like saying like, yeah, short career, but it was a hell of a career in that. But so anyway, after this happens, Nikita Koloff comes out. There were actually fans booing Nikita still, probably because they still weren't buying the babyface run. I think also because I think most people knew Ric Flair was a way better performer than Nikita Koloff was. But not to mention, he still had his Soviet ring gear on too. Like, you see that's his ring. You see the words like CCCP. Yeah, CCP. So he's still he's like, I hate the Soviet Union now, but I'm still gonna wear one that has my nationality on. Like,
it's an outrage.
Pretty much the whole match was that Nikita is playing this monster babyface essentially, and Ric Flair is playing this chicken shit heel. Because every time Flair tries to get offense in, Nikita's no-selling it. Like the chops, he no-sells the chops. Yeah. Flair, it's a backdrop on him. Nikita sits right back up, like no-selling it there. So Flair's like most of the match, Flair's like running out of the ring, running outside. At one point he gets down, and it's like, like please don't hurt me. Like your usual Ric Flair heel, kind of. In fact, I believe he even hits a low blow at one point. The classic like the WWE SmackDown video games, at one point, if you're Ric Flair, you can just get down one knee and just go, like, please, and then like smack. Yeah. So, I mean, I give it 3 stars. The thing that screwed up was the finish because it ends in a double disqualification, and the fans are pissed off because they're like, this is your biggest event of the year. We expect a finish to a match. Yeah. Whether Nikita gets the belts or not, it doesn't matter. We want an actual finish here, but it ends in a double disqualification. Essentially what happens is Nikita is beating up Ric Flair in the corner, and the ref's trying to tell him, look, 5 count, and Nikita just throws him to the corner, throws him away. The ref gets back up again, and break up the hold, and so anyway. But what happens is it's a massive brawl still. Ric Flair and Nikita are still fighting. The ref eventually says like, oh, it's gonna be double disqualification. Both men are getting DQ'd here, But anyway, so they have officials trying to come out to break up these two guys. Nikita ends up like clotheslining the hell out of one official. Then they clear out the rest of the locker room, and that finally breaks up everybody. And that's how the pay-per-view ends, essentially. Yeah. And how Tony Schiavone says it is we might have got a double DQ in our main event, but we had a hell of a show tonight. Yeah. And I don't know, he wasn't wrong. It wasn't a bad show, but there were a lot of fans pissed off that they did not get a clean finish in the main event. But anyway, so Ric Flair is still champion, at least for another year. And Nikita Koloff is now a babyface now. He is he hates the Russians and that now. So, I mean, we'll see what happens, I guess. Yeah. I guess next week, because now we get to Stargate 87, where we're going to start to see I would say the guy ends up becoming the face of WCW. I am, of course, talking about the Icon Sting. It is his WCW debut next week on Stargate 87 as he comes in from the UWF. And like I said, I think Sting's the biggest name in WCW history, maybe behind Ric Flair. Yeah. It has to be Ric Flair or Sting, I think. I mean, Goldberg, maybe for a short time. Yeah. He wasn't on top for long. But anyway, so that's next week. It's going to be... It's not gonna be as long of a card, but next week's show is also big because it airs the same day as WWF's first Survivor Series pay-per-view. Oh yeah. Huh. So they actually air the same day. But of course, Vince McMahon being the genius man that he is, because of a very brilliant plan to screw WCW over to the point where they will move Stargate from November to the month of December. Yeah. So I mean, like I said, that's gonna be next week. It's gonna be Stargate 87. I believe from Chicago. I think it's called the Chi-Town Heat. Yeah, so we're now going to be moving to Chicago now, which if the crowd is any vocal as they are now in Chicago, it should be a hell of a show. Yeah. So like I said, that's the Skywalkers. I think it was a pretty good show. Kind of disappointed by the main event though, but since this felt like it was put together last second because this wasn't the original main event to begin with.
Right.
It wasn't what they had planned since last year. It wasn't who they wanted Ric Flair to face, but that happens in wrestling.
Yeah.
Come on, the WWE's going with right now.
Yeah, with Daniel Bryan, which of course we'll talk. See what happens there. I guess with Raw next week, the go home Raw, I guess before Payback. And talk about that and then again review another Starcade 87.
I feel like I'm starting to enjoy watching these WWE reviews and that, and I think it's gonna be great until I think 95 is gonna be a brutal one with Hulk Hogan as babyface. 96, 97 should be great, and even 98, 99 should be great halfway. Then we get to the Vince Russo era, and that's when WCW just starts becoming unwatchable. Pray for me when we get to 2000, the WCW, because those pay-per-views are so unbearably bad, supposedly, that I'm gonna put a bullet in my head maybe one of those days, maybe. Yeah. Hope not, but it's I heard they're very bad. Like blood's gonna be coming out of my eyes when I'm watching those pay-per-views. Like, you're kidding me.
Yeah. So stay tuned for that all next week on the Great Wrestling Debate as we move closer to Payback coming up.
We should have predictions next week.
Next week, yep.
Hopefully we can predict the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match. Hopefully.
So hopefully we'll have a prediction for that. But either way, we'll have a prediction for whatever is to come up at Payback right here in the Great Wrestling Debate. So thank you for tuning in as always.